Hi, this is Mike. I'm going to show you some features related to parameters within Oracle Analytics. The first feature will be the ability to pass parameters to a canvas on a workbook URL, and then we'll take a look at how parameters can be used within embedded content. So on my canvas, I have some filters on customer segment and city. If I look to modify the filter, you'll see the UI which allows us to select filter values, but on the right hand side you'll see a green parameter icon, and what this indicates is that this filter is bound to a parameter called P customer segment. Similarly, if I look at my city filter, that is bound to a parameter called P city. So how can we make use of those parameters to pass values on a workbook URL? If I open up my workbook in a new tab, that gives us the starting point for the structure of the URL that we need to be able to pass those parameters. And the important part of the structure is that we can see project.jsp. If I go to a text editor, I've copied that structure of the URL into my text editor, and what we can see is how we start to build up the parameter values. So and symbol P1N, which is parameter 1 name, P customer segment, and then P1V value for corporate, and then P2N P city, which is the city parameter, and then Bristol, Cardiff and Austin. Now what I need to do is put all this into a single line so we can append it to our URL, and then you can see that we've got commas because we have multiple values for the city parameter. I need to encode those from a comma to % to C. So that then gives me this resulting URL, which I can then copy into my browser, and you will see that what we are now able to do is filter that canvas by passing parameter values. Those parameter values are bound to filters, and we can do all that on the URL. So that's an incredibly powerful new capability. Numerous use cases for using parameters within all aspects of Oracle Analytics, especially for example with embedding. So let's take a look now at how we can use parameters with embedded content. Now if you're new to embedding, then I recommend taking a look at my blog, which describes the various options for embedded analytics. Now if we go back to the workbook, you can get some of the values that you need to build up your embedding page if you have the developer option turned on. So the first thing to check, especially if you're using a new instance of Oracle Analytics, is go to your profile, and then within the profile go to advanced and make sure that enable developer options is on. Now if enable developer options is on, you can then click on this menu option and you'll see developer. That will bring up the developer tab at the bottom of your browser, and then if we click on the embed options, and then if I select a canvas, what we'll see is that we are now populated with the HTML that we need to include within the web pages where we wish to do the embedding. So the canvas here is the reference. So let me go to a text file where I will show you how we can build up the file and also include the parameters on that URL. Alright, so here we can see that we've got the content that we saw just a moment ago with Oracle Analytics. So here we have the Oracle DV tag, and this is the key to embedding Oracle Analytics content. And what we have introduced in this release is a new field called parameters. These curly brackets mean that this is something called an observable, and the way that Oracle Analytics works it uses something called knockout. Knockout has these objects called observables, and it's a way of passing data dynamically to the Oracle DV embed tag. Now we're going to use an observable in this case, first of all to set the project path, which is the location of our workbook, and then the second observable is going to be these parameter values. So what we are now able to do is programmatically set these parameter values within our web page, so that when we view this within a browser, and if I click on this link, you will now see that those parameter values have been applied to the embedded content.